Hello, this is Jared Stepp with Facebook.com/JaredSteppMusic, and this is a video review this time of my Empress compressor. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're playing on my Paul Reed Smith Hollow Body 1 Spruce. I'm going to turn the pedal off. All we're playing through right now is the HD500, Pod HD500 amp model and a BB Sonic Stomp, which is an always-on pedal for me. The Empress compressor is also generally an always-on pedal for me, but let me give you the tone without it first. That's on the neck pickup of the Paul Reed Smith. Now, some cool feature of this pedal is you'll notice it when you turn it on. The lights light up, and so what you have here on this side is how much it's compressing the signal in decibels. So you've got -1, -2, -3, all the way down to -25 there. And then on the other side, the green light is how much input is coming in. So how much it's compressing this way, how much input it's coming in this way, and you can turn either one off, so you're just seeing the red or just seeing the green. And on this side is the ratio of the compression. Are you compressing 2 to 1, 4 to 1, 10 to 1? So that's how much it's compressing when the signal goes 10 dBs above the thing. That's how 2 to 1 ratio shows you how much you're cutting out of that, and 2 to 1's less. 10 to 1 you're cutting more out of more dBs as soon as it goes above. Now you've got input, attack, release, mix, output. I'm not going to explain in detail all the functions of compression. There's some great videos out there by Just Nick on compression, but you should go look at them and understand it because it's an awesome effect if you know how to use it right. Input level, how much is coming in, obviously. So if I'm playing this, I turn this down. See, it's not compressing it at all. You're getting nothing out of the compressor when you turn that all the way down. Now when you turn it up, now there's all that overlap there. So now you're getting tons of compression. Okay. So the input level affects how much compression is happening as well. The output level also just then makes up for what you put in at the input level. So if you, so then you can make up for if you know, if you want the volume the exact same when it comes out of the pedal versus bypass signal. You notice the volume's not the same. It's slightly boosted when I turn on the pedal. That's because of this output. Now if I turn it up, it's even more boosted, and you actually got some overdrive out of the amp model there because of the compressor. It's a great clean boost when used correctly. Now you've also got attack, release, and mix. Not too many compressors have a mix knob on them. It's a very useful function. So you mix it down low, you've got no compression happening. Okay, it's just a clean boost with the output knob working for you. Now you mix it in, and now you've got dual signals coming out of this pedal. One compressed and one not compressed. Again, that makes it so that you can be a really subtle effect, or you can have it as just a heavy compression. Release time there, attack time, this is how fast it squashes down on your signal. Release time is how long it takes before it lets your signal go to nothing. So compression basically takes your signal from really big and wide volume swings from high volume highs and low volume lows, and it evens out the peaks and the valleys of your signal there, so that your highs are lower and your lows are higher, and therefore adding more sustain to your signal and making your signal actually honestly sound more professional most of the time. Most of the recordings that are coming out now have heavy compression on them post in the studio, and I like to add compression ahead of time with this pedal, and then I do post as well with the recording. So let's get a heavy squash in there, and let's make this thing really work. 10 to 1, attack, release. They're both working pretty strong here. Without it, with it. You hear the squash, you hear it just crushing down on the peaks. I'm gonna up the output a little bit. So you've got the mix all the way up now. I never play with the mix all the way up, but here up the output a little bit so you can hear that. Now let me put an overdrive behind it, because it's really useful when you're overdriving. Take it off. Off. Notice how the signal decays so much faster, and that's the cool part about a compressor, is that it increases your sustain so that the signal will hang on, and you're going to get more grit at the end of your signal than you would otherwise with overdrive pedals. Alright, so that's the wonder of compression. Now, this one is so transparent, it keeps your guitar's tone. Now, you can pull it back and make it less of an effect and more of a just something that helps your playing, evens out your playing. That's what I use it for as an always-on pedal, but then I'll turn it to the effect side and boost it up sometimes when I want that as well. So here's the less effecty and just evening out your playing. Without it, with it, it's bigger. The sound is just bigger, not because it's louder, but because the sound hangs on more, especially at the initial point, right after the attack. Right after your attack comes through, whereas before where your attack comes through and you almost immediately lose your signal. When you have a compressor on, your attack comes through and it hangs on a little bit longer. It's like turning up your a great tube amp gain to 9.5 and letting it just ring. But a compressor does that at lower volume levels. I love it for that. I love it for clean tones. Here we go with some clean here. Off. Throw some chorus on there. Without the compressor. it on. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed this review demo. Empress compressor, it's the best on the market. Many reasons for that. It's the only one with the LEDs that show you how much it's squashing. You got to know how much it's squashing. If you know anything about compression, please know how much it's squashing. It'll help you a ton. Alright, God bless you, and like me on Facebook.com/Jared Stepp Music. Pick up Bouncy House Worship from Kid Connection Band. Awesome new worship CD we just came out with. God bless.